Before we begin today's video, I want to add there is a link in the description to Night Owl Phase 3. My newest film, online now. It is the third installment in the Night Owl series. I've been working on this series since summer of... I've been actually starting on working on it since February 2019. So it's been a couple years in the works, but the final part is out now. Go check it out. I've linked it in the description. But anyway... we'll get to the review, and yes, I'm going to market that on every single review I upload this video weekend because I need the most marketing I can get. Anyway, Lorde has dropped her new album. And I do want to add, yes, I saw Kendrick Lamar's announcement. Yes, I might make a video on it. We'll see. Lorde has finally dropped her new album, and Lorde is a pop artist who I have really enjoyed for a while, and It's for a lot of reasons that I enjoy Lorde, especially more than most acts in pop music. Because most acts in pop music for me deliver fun, but kind of forgettable music. And most people that were coming up in her time in 2013, that's what they were doing. Yeah, you had your Bruno Marses and such, but most pop albums I've heard from 2013 really weren't that impactful to me. But there was something about Lorde's almost rebellion to that sound, and feeling like just this rebellious teen expressing that rebellion in gorgeous, beautifully produced, but kind of, I don't know how to describe it, just like very personal music. Pure Heroine was one of my favorite albums to drop in 2013 and easily a top 3 of that year. And in 2017, when she came back with Melodrama, not only do I think she came back with one of the best albums of that year, but one of my favorite pop albums, and arguably one of my favorite albums. That album perfectly did everything I wanted it to be as a sequel to Pure Heroine, as I felt like it perfectly went down new paths, showed growing as it was 4 years since her last album. She had grown a lot since then. And overall, it just ended up being a really amazing record. And seriously, probably other than 444, my favorite album to come out in 2017, some of the best vocals and production to come out on that album. It was incredible. So I was very happy when I heard she was returning with Solar Power. But I knew from the singles this would not be as good as the other two. And that's mostly because I knew she wasn't going to embrace the same kind of magnificently beautiful, really just amazing production. Now that's not what makes Lorde's music so good. What really is the top on that is the vocals, which is why I was expecting a great album, but I wasn't expecting something as amazing as Pure Heroine or Melodrama, because she wasn't going to go down that road. She was going to go down this kind of scenic, kind of spacious but beautiful guitar, almost folk sound, if you will. So I was very excited for Solar Power, but I went in knowing I wasn't going to get the greatest album of the year or something that mind-blowing. Overall, none of the singles were that impressive me. I quite enjoyed Mood Ring, though. I'll get to that one later. We opened things up with the track The Path, which is, in my opinion, a highlight. I really like this as an intro. It has a very catchy sound to it. It's very calm. It's very relaxing. It perfectly kind of goes on this... Somebody basically described it as perfect music to sunbathe to. And I felt like that was really what I like about this track. It's a perfect intro to the album, perfectly sets up the sound and tone Lorde goes for. It sucks this album is coming out in August. I would have loved this all summer, but my school starts in, 4 days, so that's a little annoying. But overall, it was a nice track. It was a great intro. The second track, Solar Power, was the first single, and I'll be honest, I don't know why this was a single. There are much better tracks on the album, and overall, it just doesn't really... It captures the sound of the album pretty well, sure, but it's just not nearly as enjoyable as the rest of it. But I guess I get why it's a single, because it is the song that mostly discusses the name, Solar Power, and it has the most theme about summer. So I guess I get it, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. But it's a very fun, nice track. Overall, I like it. California is very nice and catchy. I really like the chorus on this track. On top of that, I think the vocals are very nice. This is an album that I found myself very relaxed to. There's very little intense that goes on in this album. There's nothing like a Happier Than Ever, where it randomly gets super intense at some point or super dark. It's just very relaxed all the time. A couple tracks do go down darker paths and discuss more issues, but most of the tracks are very relaxed. California is a very nice track. Stone at the Nail Salon is a pretty nice track. It feels like easily the most kind of dry track, if you will, which is a great way I think I would describe this album. This album does not in any way feel very luscious and vibrant. It feels very dry, and in a good way. It feels purposefully dry. It doesn't feel dry in the sense of no creativity. It just has this kind of dry summer feel to it. Overall, really enjoy this track though. Next we got Fallen Fruit, which is a nice track. I don't have a ton to say on this one. I like it for what it is. Secrets from a Girl is a very fun song to me, and it was quite a surprise to hear on this, but I like the very adventure, kind of tropical-ish sound to it. It just sounds very fun, very nice. This album absolutely does the sound of kind of this very hot, scorching beach, but relaxing beach. It just gets that sound down really well. This is a very fun track. It's one of the only tracks with a drum on it. There's an actual like drum pattern on this track. I think this might be the only song on the whole album with that, if I can recall correctly. Man with an Axe is definitely a highlight though, and I might consider this my favorite. It's definitely a top 3 at least, because I find this track so, I don't know how to describe it. It just has one of the most kind of just float sounds to it, and I really love the sound she really goes for with this track. It doesn't feel very, it doesn't feel nearly as relaxed as the last few tracks. It just feels very content and complaint, and very complacent, and I like it. It feels the most like it's floating of any track, and I really love it overall. Dominoes might be my favorite song though, and I think it is at this point because I really like the guitar pattern on this track. It's catchy, it's nice, it's relaxing. It keeps in the nice relaxingness of the album, but has very engaging words and vocals about a guy who clearly has some issues in her life. Overall, it's just a very, very nice track, and definitely one that I would consider to be one of the better tracks on the album, and might be my favorite. Big Star is a very nice track. I like it as kind of this track about someone being from a completely different world and lane from you, and how Lorde doesn't really feel like she belongs with this person. The vocals and guitar fit very well together. Overall, I really like it. Leader of a New Regime is very nice in terms of the harmonies. The guitar, once again, sounds great. Not inherently a track I got a ton from, but I definitely like it for what it is. Mood Ring is definitely a highlight, and I definitely think it's the best single. It's really catchy, nice, fun. It perfectly gets the balance of fun and relaxing down, and I overall just have a really good time with this track. Finally, we have the great conclusion, the very enjoyable, relaxing, oceanic feeling, which honestly, if I were to pick conclusion, I think it just did it super well. The vocals fit very well. It kind of goes down. It's a 6.5 minute track, so it does a couple sounds in it. But overall, I feel like if we're talking about how this album could have ended, I feel like this was probably the best way this album could have ended. Overall, it was very nice ending the album. And really what I'd say about Solar Power is this album is great. It's a great album. It's very nice. It's very relaxing. It has a set sound it wants to go to of this dry but relaxed beach, and it perfectly gets that sound to the bone. The biggest reason why I'm not gushing on sound and I don't think it's as good as their other two is mostly just because I know for me personally I'm not going to revisit this album nearly as much as I will revisit Melodrama. Melodrama just had such a vibrant sound to it that I love. This vibrant kind of rampant city but also like cold sound to it that I just loved. Solar Power is almost the complete opposite of that. This album never feels cold. It never feels like depressed. It just feels very vibrant. Not vibrant, just very dry but very relaxed. Very great, very just sunbathing, I guess is a great way to put this album. I really enjoy it. I don't think she disappointed on any extent, because at the end of the day, I'm not the type of person to sit there and always expect my favorite artists to always deliver the next masterpiece every time. Really, at the end of the day, this album is as good as it was going to be with this sound she was going down. Honestly, I quite enjoy it. Definitely an album I really liked. I don't think I'm going to revisit it a ton, but definitely a highlight for 2021 so far. Definitely one of my favorite albums of the summer. I'm feeling a pretty solid A- here. I like this album quite a lot. Very solid stuff right here. I don't think Lorde disappointed at all. Very enjoyable shit. The next 2 reviews I got are Trip at Night by Trippie Redd, finally out. And I also got, I'm going to review for its 5th year anniversary, Blonde by Frank Ocean. And yes, every single review will have that Night Owl TV spot at the beginning because I need to market the fuck out of this movie. Anyway, see you guys next time. I just dropped the first F-bomb in this whole video. See you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.